welcome to the second episode of Cobbler with Cobblers. This is a series where I have somehow tricked the company into letting me sit down for an hour and eat cobbler with some of our bootmakers. So today I have Luke Larsson here with me.
Yeah, hey, thanks. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Where I work.
Last time you were on a podcast, I think you mentioned you hate attention. So we decided to make a whole podcast episode where we put the spotlight on you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I will be extremely awkward, so get ready.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what we want. So before we get started, let's dig into this cobbler. I am extremely excited about this.
I might be more excited. I haven't had this in a long time.
So this time, our amazing Kelsey has made blackberry cobbler for us.
Smell it. I can smell it.
Yeah. I'm stoked. So if you want to go ahead and,
All right.
and dig in first.
Yeah, let's do this. Hey, I will be the nice person here, and I will get you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Blackberries are definitely my favorite fruit.
Let's see if I can even scoop this thing. Man. Okay,
What's the... Is it huckleberries? Huckleberries. That's what's big around here in Washington, right?
I used to get huckleberries in the woods. I would pick them and eat them, and I don't know if they were huckleberries. I was told they were huckleberries, but that was another 12-year-old telling me they're huckleberries.
Huckleberries are only native to Washington, right?
Okay, then I was probably safe.
I'm not sure if that's true. I have never heard of huckleberries until I moved to Washington.
Weird.
Where I grew up in Northern California, there's blackberry bushes everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So
Same
I would
here.
just go to the park and get like a whole basket of blackberries.
All my backyards growing up were blackberry bushes.
Yeah, that's the house that my dad still lives in. When we first moved in there, it was a whole acre or half an acre of just blackberry bushes.
Oh my gosh,
it was quite the job to get rid of them, and they still sprout up every once in a while.
Yeah, they're amazing. We used to hang out inside of them.
Mm-hmm. I
come out with just cuts all over our arms. Oh my god, this is delicious.
During summer, I went to Boys and Girls Club, and they did it at the park, and they did a thing where we would do forts.
Okay, yeah.
And it sounds terrible now that I'm thinking back on it, but they would take us down to the creek at the park and let us build forts in the blackberry bushes with all the bramble and thorns. But it was the best time.
Yeah, that was basically my childhood in the 80s. Hanging out in blackberry bushes. Oh, man.
This is delicious.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Kelsey. Once again, amazing.
We should just eat.
Yeah, we're just not going to talk.
Yeah, no talking.
We're just going to enjoy this.
Look at this YouTube. Yep. We should just have some more.
So,
okay, one more bite.
What's your favorite fruit?
Favorite fruit is avocado and olives are my favorite fruit.
I don't think of either of those when I think of fruits.
If I have to go with the sweet fruit, I'm going with watermelon.
Really?
Yeah.
Controversial.
Is a melon fruit?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But it's watermelon is like just mostly water.
Yeah.
But I won't disagree. Watermelon's pretty great.
I'm a big fan of salty green olives.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
I mean,
they go in alcohol and they're delicious by themselves.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be stereotypical. I am from California, so avocado is definitely up there.
Yeah. Heck yeah. They're so good. Yep.
So,
avocado cobbler next.
Yeah. Avocado cobbler. Can you do that, Kelsey? No? Are you sure? It could be revolutionary. Okay. So before we get too far into it, speaking the fact that you aren't a fan of attention, you've been getting a lot of attention this week.
Yes, self-imposed, kind of.
Yeah.
So
you have just recently been announced the winner of the Open Patina Thunderdome by Stitchdown.
Yes, I have, and if I blush, it's because I'm very proud and happy. But yes. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So
it's a lot of work.
For people who aren't familiar with what Stitchdown is, the blog and the podcast, Stitchdown Shoecast, and what the Patina Thunderdome is, Would you be able to explain what this is to the lesser, or not lesser,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
not so much boot nerds, I should say?
Not so much boot nerds. Yeah. So Stitchdown is a blog run by, can we say his name? I don't know.
Sure,
Ben. Yeah. I don't know his last name, but Ben.
Yeah.
And he runs it, and it's just a bunch of information about boots and shoes and stuff. And they put on this contest last year. It's basically a leather aging contest for footwear. It's only the dorkiest of people will enter. You and I both enter.
Both of us, yep.
Yeah, so you get your boot and you don't wear it, and then on October 1st, starting October 1st for 6 months, as you know, you wear your boots as much as you can and do whatever you want. But so yeah, I wore mine every single day for like 12 hours a day for 6 straight months, and some people don't do that. But yeah, whoever just has the coolest looking boots at the end, you win something if it's the best looking boot.
Yeah. So I know when you first were talking about doing the Patina Thunderdome this year, because you did it last year as well.
I did, yep.
I think you were originally talking about doing Natural CXL. Is that right?
Natural Chrome XL was my first choice. I still want a pair of those, but yeah, I kind of went down the list. I was like, I want something that's different from the last year's leather. So I went from the Natural Chrome XL to the Natural Dublin, and then ended up on our natural double stuff from Wicket and Craig.
Yep. I think you're like almost everyone else in this building. As soon as that first roll of natural double stuff showed up, everyone was like, I have to have that.
Yeah, it's stunning. If you like a natural looking leather, which I do, it's as you can tell, I wanted the Natural Chrome XL, Natural Dublin, natural double stuff. Yep. And you can see all the imperfections, all the interesting stuff of the leather, all the character. So
yeah, so you practically built your boots yourself. You modified the patterns, you cut the leather out.
Yep.
Whereas I just went ahead and looked over on our shelf for pending RTS boots. Yeah. And went, oh, look, a natural double stuff pair in my size. I guess I'm joining the Patina Thunderdome this year.
I remember that day. Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm not the only one with this amazing leather in the contest.
Yep.
And I was okay with it. So
yeah. I knew you had it in the bag anyway. I think I told you multiple times. I think you were trying to be nice and be like, no, yours are looking good too. I was like, nah, you've got a trip to Japan on your feet for sure.
I was not trying to be nice. I love your boots, man.
Well, I took very little care of them, if I'm being honest. I think the first time I conditioned them was like in January or February.
Oh wow, okay.
Whereas whereas you, I think you said you like brushed them every single day.
Yeah, every day I brushed them. Yeah. I did a lot of tear down here, so I kind of learned what not to do with my boots. So, they could last longer. See a lot of boots that are cracked and creased if they don't take care of them. So
yeah, so you've got a trip to Japan in the near future.
Yeah,
you get a custom pairs of clinch
I'm gonna
boots.
Hyperventilate here. Just
Are you ready for it? I mean, I know last time we talked, you said you don't even have a passport.
I don't. I looked into it last night, but now I got to figure out where my dad grew up.
You gotta. Oh, yeah, you gotta jump on that.
Yeah. What state did my dad grow up in? What city did he live in? I have no idea. So yeah.
So did you celebrate at all when you found out?
Yes, my wife, like you, I'm joking, have been telling me you're probably going to win this thing. I did not believe it because I don't believe any of that stuff. But she's like, I told you we're going out for cocktails. So we got some cocktails last night. She's been planning that for a little while. I'm like, you stop it. You're going to break my heart if I don't win. So, but yeah, we went out, got some cocktails, some pizza.
Right on.
And I don't normally eat pizza, so it was amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time. Quick, we have kids, so it was like an hour. Got a babysitter, and had to be back home.
Right on. Yeah, I think most people around the office were like, "You're gonna win." But what confirmed it to me was when we had a customer come in.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Jordan, who great guy, stops in pretty frequently. Looked at your feet and went, "Wait a minute, you're the guy?"
Yeah, we were talking for like what 5 minutes or something like that. Yeah.
And he just looked down at your feet and like, wait a minute, I know those boots. You're the guy in the Patina Thunderdome that everyone's talking about. Like pointing, you're gonna win. You got this.
I had to write an essay for this Patina Thunderdome, and that ended up in the essay. So
really,
yeah,
that's awesome.
It stuck out to me that much.
So speaking of the fact you mentioned you used to do teardown,
Mhm.
um, I think pretty within just the nature of Nick's boots. We're episode 2 and we're already kind of breaking the setup a little bit. Cobbler with cobblers. Currently,
Yeah.
you're not a cobbler
I'm
at
not a
all.
cobbler. Yeah.
What's your position? I don't even know. What is your position
I am the
now?
small leather goods lead.
Okay.
Basically, yeah, I work in this room. I build belts and bags. Actually, I build less belts now. Doing a lot of prototyping
Gotcha.
of
Yeah.
different things. That's kind of fallen on me. Some media,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram stuff. But yeah, just
Yeah.
building random cool things.
Yeah. So you hang out back here in the small goods room,
Yep.
which I think is my favorite room. Partly because this is where we do a lot of fun
Yep.
prototyping. You can see we've got a ton of leather behind us, sample leather, belt leather, things like that. Small goods prototyping.
Yep.
I also really like it because it's a little cluttered right now, but
It is. Yeah.
you keep things pretty organized, pretty well organized. And this is probably the most organized room in the building.
Yeah, it's a stress.
So
Yeah, because
it's
this is also the prototype room, and it's also the scrap leather dumping ground.
right, right.
So yeah,
There's
we have to
buckets
find
and
out.
buckets of scrap leather.
Yeah, we can
In the
find. We
corner
get
over
cool
there.
stuff to work with, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's it can be stressful drowning in leather every once in a while.
Yeah. So you're making small goods now. You're doing some social media.
Mhm.
I think though you have probably bounced around within the company more than anybody else that I'm aware of. Except
I
for
would agree.
back when we were 20 people strong and you had to do multiple jobs and wear multiple
Yeah.
hats. Um, so let's go down that path a little bit. Where did you start when you first started working here?
So yeah, first day I was tearing down boots.
So
I've been
bootmaker first.
Yeah, I got hired on as an apprentice bootmaker,
Mm-hmm.
which was amazing. Yeah, I had come in before
Mm-hmm.
um, to order boots and kind of went on
Right.
a tour of the shop. Yeah. So I got hired on like 6 months after getting my first pair of boots here.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I started in teardown and then mixed some finishing in and then did that for a long time and then ended up moving to sanding,
Mm-hmm.
shanking, and and then kind of bounced around those four things or three things,
Right.
whatever it was, yeah, for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you eventually made the transition over to customer service.
Yes, yeah, I did. I was reluctant to do that though because I had started working here because I wanted to get away from what I was doing before.
Mm-hmm.
I'd been doing photography, graphic design, and just staring at a computer screen all day. And Grant asked, he kind of knew that, so he asked me if I
Gotcha.
wanted to work up here. I was like, okay. He's like, well, you'll be able to make stuff as well, but that not making stuff went on for a long time, longer than it should have.
Mhm.
But yeah, I eventually got away from the computer stuff again,
Right.
and then now I'm back to the computer stuff
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. I know we were, I think pretty shortly after you joined the sales team, we were pretty short staffed.
Yep.
Business blew up a bit. So
Yep. I was on phones for a year.
yeah, you got stuck a little bit, which is just the nature of how things are.
Yep.
We rally together as a team and get it done. I think you tend to be the most flexible person here, which I really admire. Like even
Yep.
when you were in customer service, someone was out,
Yep.
Serge would come over and be like, "Hey, we need to steal Luke for the day," and
Yeah.
we'd be out someone on customer service, but you'd be back there making boots again. Um,
Yeah. I
until
love it. I love bouncing back there.
Yeah.
It just takes a couple days to get used to it again. So
Sure.
when Serge is like, you're gonna be back here for a week or two, I'm like, okay, I can get going on this. I forgot I had some delicious cobbler here. Yeah, I love the fact that I get to bounce around. I'm doing it less now,
Mhm.
but it's so much fun. I've learned every single job here almost.
Yeah. So you have probably the widest perspective out of everyone here. But so now you're small goods full time.
Yeah.
We're having you do some video and photos for our Nix USA Instagram
Yeah.
account.
Yeah, the Nix_USA.
Mm-hmm. It's a newer one, more centered around photography, small goods.
Yeah. Yep. And everything else that will probably be coming out back here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
sneak peeks on new items,
Yeah.
which you're working on. I don't want to act like I'm doing anything other than maybe throwing in some feedback, but
Yeah.
you're working on some really exciting new products that I'm like.
Yeah, I'm pretty deep into one of
for.
them. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on version, I don't know, 5 now. So
4 or 5. Yeah, I
hopefully
think
this is the last one.
I think I've been trying to convince you to give me one of the prototypes.
I will. You can have
okay.
the next one.
I'll get it when it's fully refined. It gets better and better every time.
That's probably the smart move. Yeah. I wish I had the new versions now.
Yeah, but it's a whole new product lineup that we've never done before, so it's taken some work.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. I wish I could say more.
Yeah. So lots of new machinery we're getting in, all that good stuff. So it's going to change the game a little bit, I think.
It will. Yeah. It's extremely exciting. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I
love it.
I love the idea that we're not just going to be Nick's boots, not just Nick's boots and belts. It's like leather goods, Nick's leather goods. Yeah. We're killing it on all fronts. Yep. But yeah, I can't say too much more. Got to keep something secret. Yeah, exactly. Surprise the customers a little bit.
Makes it fun.
Yeah, exactly. But you did mention when you got the job here, you got the job partly because you came in to get a pair of boots.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an interesting story I've heard a little bit of before. Sure. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, why did you come into Nick's?
So yeah, I'm sure I've said this story a million times before to other people, but I had just moved to Spokane, and my wife got a job here. Immediately, we decided to move to Spokane because we were sick of the traffic and stuff in Seattle, and she immediately got a job here. So I got a job just doing some night work, and then I took up leather work during the day just as a hobby. But I also run ultra marathons, and I wanted to do
What's an ultra marathon?
Okay, so
for those of us who don't enjoy running as a hobby,
it's usually anything over a marathon.
Okay, gotcha.
So anything over the 26 point whatever miles a marathon is. So the first one I want to do was a 50K, so it was like 32 point whatever miles, and it usually takes place. It doesn't have to, but in the mountains, lots of climbing in the woods. But it can be flat. I enjoy the climbs, but my first one was a 50K, but then when I moved here, I was planning on doing a 50 miler, and I wanted some good motivation. And I just moved to Spokane. I was over across the street getting some coffee, and I saw there was a boot place here called Nick's. So I looked up on the website, and the website was kind of horrible at the time.
What year was that?
It was 2019.
Okay.
And it wasn't even that long ago, but I don't even think you could buy boots on it. Maybe you could at the time.
I think we were just getting it ready for it because I joined in 2020, like a few months after you. We had a full-fledged online store, so it was like
it wasn't good, whatever it was. So yeah, I was kind of looking around, and I think I saw the Falcon on there. It was all fire boots or logging boots, and I saw the Falcon. I was like, "What's that?" So then I came in one day and saw them in person, and I met Nathan and Grant because they were like sizing people at the time out in the shop, and Nathan gave me a tour at the time, and I just was like, this place is awesome. So, and I was, like I said, I was getting into leather work. So walking into this building, smelling all the leather and seeing all the crafts people back there, I just kind of fell in love. And so I got my boots, and I don't know at what point, but I saw like a Facebook ad a few months later, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm too nervous. They'll say no. They won't let me work there. And then I just kind of ignored it. And then like a few months later, after that, I saw it again, and I applied. I got like an immediate response. Almost, I don't know who was manning the the social media at the time, but yeah, it started because I needed a motivation to run this marathon. I was like, boots are going to be that. I've never owned anything like that, so that kind of got me through it. And I remember crossing the finish line and being like, I'm getting my boots, because my wife was right there at the time. That's awesome. So, and I think she might have said something like, "You're getting your boots." So,
cheering that as you're running.
Exactly. Yeah. It kept me going. It honestly did. Like,
that's really
running
cool.
50 miles is not easy.
Yeah, so. I would never. Yeah. Unless I'm being chased, and even then, probably would not.
I was not being chased, but yeah.
But it's funny. I actually Nathan told me an interesting story today about when you came in to get your boots. I don't know if you know, but You were the first customer to receive a 4-row toe cap.
Oh, interesting.
He said that when you came in, you were looking at possibly the Falcon, and then you saw the boots on his feet, which had a 4-row toe cap.
Gotcha. I'm trying to remember what my toe cap. I thought there was 2 lines in my toe cap. Maybe I wanted 4 and they messed it up. I don't know.
No, don't say that. We never mess anything up.
No, I could have ordered 2. Yeah,
well, that then honestly,
it was right before the Americana came out.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is Nathan's story is that his first pair of Knicks was a pair of unclaimed rebuilds that had been sitting on the shelf.
Okay.
And so he took them, he modified them a bit, and he went to Katrina and said, hey, can we do, instead of 2 lines of stitching, do 4 lines of stitching and space the 2 and 2 apart a little bit.
Okay.
And that created the first ever 4-row toe cap for Knicks.
Knicks history.
Yeah. And then he said that he was wearing those boots when you came in.
He was. I remember those boots.
Yeah.
I remember them. Yeah.
And he
must have been excited about them.
The story goes that you saw the boots on his feet and were like, I want that toe cap.
Yeah.
And so that's what they put in for you. And if I'm being honest, there's probably a good chance that you asked for a 4-row toe cap, and being that it's not something we ever did before, they threw 2 rows on there, and
it's a possibility.
Yeah. You'll have to look at those boots again.
Yeah. I can just say, like, I was so excited to get them. I had waited like 4 weeks for those boots.
4 whole weeks. Yeah, that's I couldn't imagine waiting 4 whole weeks for a pair of boots.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah. That is something that's funny. So you started 2020 or 2019?
19. Well,
end of 2019.
It was the end of, it was January 6th.
Oh, okay.
2020.
Okay. Yeah, because I came on. We have kind of similar stories. I also worked in boots, a dealer, sold Knicks at the shop, but I knew about Knicks and was like, these boots are awesome. I'd love to work here. I don't want to get too much into my story. This is about you, but similar story that, like, I came up here from California to work at Knicks when I came from an interview in February. I think I flew up in February. I think you were just starting, because I remember you were the first person I met other than Grant, who picked me up.
Yeah, did Grant bring us back? Hey, Luke, this is Luke.
Yeah, no, he walked me through production. We went through the back door, and you were the first person there. He's like, this is Luke. He's doing teardown for us.
Yep. I remember that day.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so I think, we started right around the same time. Which around that time, I remember when I first started, they were having me process rebuilds. Not like you were processing rebuilds. I was writing up the orders and then you were tearing them down.
Exactly.
But I remember February or March of that year, I remember Grant walking over to me because there was a whole rack of rebuilds I had to process. He's like, don't worry. This is the busiest it ever gets. We're currently at a 8 to 10 week lead time. After fire season, it drops down to 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow.
Things will calm down a little bit for you.
Yep.
And that was the slowest it has ever been since I started.
Yes, it's been a little crazy. So yeah, just seeing the changes have been pretty awesome.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, it's been fun to watch the company grow.
Yep.
Be a part of it.
Absolutely.
But so you mentioned you're a runner.
Yep. As I'm eating Cobbler.
Yeah, you got to get the carbs in, right?
I've been lazy the last few months, so
you have a reason to celebrate. It's fine.
I do.
It's fine. But so the topic I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit of a debate.
Oh boy.
Something we've talked about before. As a runner, I imagine you wear barefoot, 0-drop shoes.
I don't wear barefoot.
Oh, okay.
I do wear 0-drop shoes.
Okay.
And non-zero. I have my main shoes are between 4 and 5 millimeter drop.
Okay.
I also wear 0-drop.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I go between those depending on how I'm feeling.
Gotcha.
So, yep.
Okay.
And they're both great.
So there's been a lot of requests that we make a 0-drop handmade boot.
0-drop handmade boot.
Which I am adamantly against, if I'm being honest.
They can look ridiculous.
They look a little ridiculous.
Yep.
I also feel that it makes sense for a running shoe.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But if you're putting on a pair of boots, an 8-inch tall, 7 to 8 ounce leather insole pair of boots,
Yep,
a zero drop shoe, just doesn't make a lot of sense.
I don't know where the debate is. Yeah, I agree.
I thought you were going to disagree a little bit more.
I will just.
I thought this was going to be high arch for zero drop, but
no. This is. I don't see a point.
Okay.
I mean, I can see why some people like
debate
it.
over. Guys.
Debate is over. Yeah, I'm
All
so
right.
sorry. I
right.
could pretend to love the zero drop boot idea, but
No,
I've
okay.
seen them and I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, you know, it looked a little. You know, we've got the Thermalast now, so there's more natural toe splay at least.
Exactly. That's. I think that's the main thing.
I think that might be as far as we go. Never say never, as Schaller once quoted someone else. But
this is not the same thing, but my Aldert Striders, my H&W last, I did remove one layer of heel stack to see how it would feel, and it was weird at first, but I got used to it. It's not zero drop, but
I think my main thing is, if I understand like zero drop barefoot shoes, natural toe splay, zero drop obviously, but also you're supposed to simulate a barefoot shoe. You have to have flexibility. And
exactly.
I'm just like, at that point, like, that's a moccasin, right?
It is.
It's not a leather boot. There's no midsole insole construction that's stitched down.
You got to have that flexibility. It's supposed to be just like running barefoot, but on a tennis shoe you got some cushion in there. We don't have cushion in
exactly. Okay, so we're on the same page.
Let's just end that debate, the whole thing.
All right, it's
over.
No
one needs a zero drop boot.
Zero drop barefoot boot's not a thing. Never gonna happen. But again, I can't make any guarantees.
You never know.
We like to throw customers off.
Yeah, I will say, if anyone could pull it off, we probably could.
That's true. I mean, we've already done some things that I never thought we'd do.
Exactly.
That ended up being amazing.
Right. Yep. I agree.
360 stitch down hiking boots. We're doing cowboy boots soon. Western boots.
Not my jam, but yeah, some people really want that thing here.
I know Nick, the glue cowboy, is really excited about that.
Name still cracks me up.
I love that. Yeah.
He's such a nice guy.
He's a great guy.
Yeah,
he's a great guy. So, are you allowed to talk about anything new coming out?
I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about. To be honest, if you want to talk about it, I'll talk about it.
That's okay. That's okay.
We'll just put a blue dot over my face or something.
We'll keep it a secret. I think these all go to Shyler for review anyway. So like, if we talk about, I'm just gonna do it right now, Shyler. If we talk about the travel bag and things like that, then he can just tell us to cut it out.
Okay.
So there's their.
If we talk about it, they got to go online probably.
That's true.
That's kind of what it's gonna be. Yeah.
Well, then should we throw bifold wallets in the conversation then too? If we talk about bifold wallets, they have to become a thing.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Bifold wallets, billfold wallets,
all the bag stuff. Yeah. Let's do it. Travel bag.
Okay. That's your opportunity, Shyler. You put in one little thing, you can cut it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a travel bag through some pretty good use here.
I'm excited
in the near future. Sometime.
Really excited. So. Yeah. Okay. So boom, easy. Couple questions. So still not sure what your first pair was. 4-row toe cap, 2-row toe cap, maybe a Falcon, maybe an Americana.
It was a mix. Yeah. It was like a Americana with a 2-piece backstay.
Gotcha. Okay. It was, yeah. Okay. And I know you've got
in size A and B.
Oh,
mismated back in the day.
And Are you a fan of that sizing?
It works out now, but no.
Okay.
I am now a C.
So the C width.
I am a C
11C.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 11.5 A like on the right, and 11.5 B on the left, and then I moved to B. Now I'm at C.
It's funny how that happens. I think a lot of us have like first go into getting boots, and we're like, we want the special thing. Get us custom, and we try custom, and we're like, ooh, you know what? That D width worked really well for me.
It is a learning thing.
Yeah, you become, absolutely.
Like, I remember Grant being like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and this, and Nathan's like, I think Nathan was helping, or Nathan was doing, I can't remember, but and now it's just like you don't need that, and you don't.
Yep.
Most people don't. Like, I fit perfectly into an 11C, and it's great, and I'm not crunching my foot down. It's just a comfortable wear. My Thunderdome pair was the 11C, and I wore them from day one without any problems.
Nice. So how many pairs of Knicks do you have?
Can I count them?
Yeah.
I got my Falcons, Travelers, Overlanders, Aldrich Striders. I have my LL64s now, and then I have a rebuild of another boot.
Does that feel good to be able to call them the LL64s and not just an unidentified pair of boots? They've got a name and they're named after you.
Well, it was written on the whiteboard in the conference room as a 5-inch Luke boot.
Yep.
That was what it was in my mind, but it just sounds ridiculous. So
I did. There's a Luke boot on the website.
I saw
5-inch. It's not quite your original patterns, but it's a 5-inch option.
I have a boot named after my name. Yeah. I mean, technically it's your name as well, but
well, it's spelled a little different. I've never gone by Luke. Okay. Always Lucas. Spelled with an A, not a U. Oh, so there's some difference there.
It's been fun, man.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
So Americana, Traveler. Your Traveler's not really a Traveler though, right? It's one of the Zurich.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it was based off of that. I didn't use the tan Teton though.
Right, you went with something weird.
Because at the time the tan Teton was like a mustard yellow, and I saw some natural chrome XL, and I put that on there instead.
Yes, the old tan Teton, as was referred to me when I worked as a dealer, baby poop yellow.
That is
if you go with the smooth leather tan Teton.
And I have to thank Nathan for that, because I was putting my order and he took my order up in the thing. He's like, we have natural chrome XL. You can use that.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's do it.
So I might be outing you here a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I know why you got the Travelers. There's a pair of repairs coming through.
It's slightly embarrassing, yeah.
And almost the same exact config, the original Zurich collection.
Yep.
And it happened to belong to a certain musician
in a famous band. Yeah, I don't know if we can say his name.
Go for it.
I believe his name is Tom DeLonge from Blink 182.
Yeah,
his boots came in for a rebuild, and like I had one of their albums in the past. I was never a huge fan, but I was like, these look amazing. I'm going with it. Like, no one knew what I was talking about when I mentioned his name.
Well, I know my brother Tyler was working in sanding with you at the time, and I think he mentioned to me that you got pretty stoked when you saw that Tom had a pair of our boots and you were currently working on them.
That was my first celebrity moment with a pair of Knicks boots. So it was kind of like, okay,
yeah,
this is more than just Spokane Lager.
Right. People know us. There's some famous people. In fact, I don't want to really mention his name, but a very famous actor
that's been pretty big coming through the shop.
Yeah, I think everyone's talked about it. We wrote in big notes for it to come to me so I can look it over and make sure it was acceptable before it went out.
Yep.
Possibly one of the greatest actors of all time,
I would say.
But it's really cool when, like, I'll be honest, I'm not a big movie guy.
Okay. I am, opposite.
I like movies. I guess I should say I'm not a big, like, I've always seen myself as, like, if I run into a famous actor, I'm not going to be like, oh my God. They're people.
Exactly.
Like us.
I would just be excited on the inside.
But, you know, it is heartening to see, like, people that are well known for their amazing abilities in acting or whatever it is, identify that our boots are something to have.
Yeah, exactly.
But this actor in particular was definitely probably only time I've like gotten excited when I heard an actor was getting our boots.
Yeah, it was a topic of conversation at home as well. Like,
yes.
It's very neat.
I was very excited. He even called in and, like, talked to us, sent emails.
Rebecca's very lucky.
Found out he was a customer for years and had always been using an alias, and then recently decided, I think, because retired, was just going to use his name and just call us. And
you may have just outed him.
No, plenty of actors retire. It's fine. Fix it in post.
It's all good.
Yeah. So again, we got the Americana, we got the Tom DeLonge special.
Yep. Overlander
with Wicked and Craig
tan.
Tan.
That was my first Thunderdome pair. Yeah. So the 2021 Thunderdome pair I went with that.
Yeah. And didn't you win best Knicks boots that time around?
I don't know what I won. It was like it was a little
honorable mention.
It was a little less formal. I think they were just. It was like I think they came up with the prize title after the fact. like best
like you didn't
shop.
make it in the top 50, but we kind of want to.
I think it was in the top 30.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I got this amazing belt from Carmine Jack. So
right on.
And I just love it. It's a gorgeous belt, and I make belts here. And his belts are amazing.
No, ours are way better.
I love our belts, but yeah, it was nice. So
no, I mean, you showed it to me. They put a lot of attention into it, a lot of attention to detail. Yeah. So which pair is your favorite?
The pair I'm wearing right now.
LL64.
Okay. It's the LL64s, yeah.
Which I decided to also throw on my Thunderdome boots today for this podcast, even though unfortunately...
Can I lift them up for the thing?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Look at that.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. I'm not going to do that.
No, please don't. I just pulled a muscle.
Yeah.
I should not be doing
got
that.
My rail card pants on, and they don't let me flex very much. Not very flexible in these.
Yeah, they're my favorite pair. I put them on for the first time today in like maybe 2 weeks. And great.
Yeah. I will say this was quite the experience for me. I did not expect to come close to winning at all. Like I said, didn't take much care of it, but it was more of an experiment for me. Having rotated boots almost every day, every other day for the last 8 years. I'm trying to think of when I first started getting into boots. I think it's been like 8 years. And wearing one pair of boots for 6 months straight every single day was strange to me.
It is strange. It was still strange to me this past one, but it's kind of nice because you just simplify your life.
Mm-hmm. Sure, so, yeah.
You know what's going on your feet every single day.
It's funny though. I have a boot shelf in my room, and every morning I'd get up and I feel like my boots were just staring at me longingly, like, dude, when you gonna throw us on?
I have I don't know if it's a funny story, but my boots during that 6 months, they were sitting in my closet on a shelf. The shelf came out of the wall twice. Like,
oh no, it's not used to having that much weight on it.
I don't think so. Yeah, so 2 times I fixed it, and then it fell down again.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
that's good.
I was like, what's happening?
They were doing whatever they could to get you to throw them on again.
5 or 6 pairs of boots just sitting there. That's kind of how heavy the boots are.
Yeah. So. Yeah. After the Thunderdome ended, I put on a different pair of boots every single day after that for like a week or 2 straight. Rotated through all of my Knicks, and then it worked out perfectly. As soon as I got to the last pair of Knicks on day like 7, the new Turnbull hiking boots got finished, and I was able to throw on that one, and I was like,
how are those feeling?
Great.
Yeah.
The Thermalast. I'll say jealous. I'm a bit of a purist when it comes to like P&W boots. Like, if someone asked me 3 weeks ago if there was like anything that I didn't like about the P&W boot style, I probably wouldn't have much of an answer for them. I'm all about the arch support. Yep. That's kind of how I was trained when I first got into selling boots. Was like, it's all about the arch support. Sell them on an arch support. If they're not getting arch supported footwear, give them an arch support insert, because that's going to make their life better. But
how it was,
having that Thermalast, let my pinky toes breathe, let the dogs breathe a bit.
I'm jealous.
It's pretty great. For a functional hiking boot, like, I think the Turnbull is as good as it can get for a hiking boot.
Yeah, I can't imagine anyone making a better one. So we make it just like our other boots, basically. So just it's like the most heavy duty hiking boot probably ever made. I don't know.
Possibly.
Don't quote me on that.
I'm gonna put it through the ringer this summer though. So
I'm excited to see how they turn out, man.
Do you have a plan for a new pair? Do you know what you're getting?
Gosh, everything got thrown out of whack with this Thunderdome thing. I was gonna get a pair of our Renegades. Natural Chrome XL.
Ooh.
But now I can get a pair of Renegades with my win. So
a pair of Clinch.
A pair of Clinch. I can get a pair of not Renegades, Engineers. Through Clinch. So I'm gonna come up with a new. Not come up with a new thing. I don't want to get in trouble again.
Yeah, you got me in so much trouble with your boots. Every time you posted them, because of our policy of if it's not available on the website.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's a great suggestion, but we can't do it at the moment. We'll consider it. Same goes for our employees typically.
Typically,
But
I did not know that.
I'll be fair. I think that policy was made shortly after you made your boots.
I don't think people understand. Like I got in trouble kind of for that.
I got in trouble.
You got in trouble too.
I got in trouble. Why is this posted on social media and we're not selling it?
It took 6 months, but we did it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And honestly, it's funny. I think people will think it was planned because of the time frame.
Sure. We did post them before I even won. So,
but the true story of it is we had new Wicked and Craig options, and Grant was shooting a video and was like, I need a Wicked and Craig boot to show off, and grabbed your boots, the ones we already got in trouble about for some reason, and showed those off. And then afterwards was like, shoot, we showed them again. We have to make it a product now. And I was just like, I can't look at the product photos. There's too many things that are out of whack here for me to say this is a normal boot. So we're like, all right, limited release, LL64.
Happiest day of my life. Just not really the happiest.
And then you won like a week later.
I know. So, gosh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be all smiles. So I'm just thinking about it. Like, going through all that thing and being like, we can't release them. This is not a thing. We're not gonna do it. And then finally getting to do it. So it was exciting.
Yeah,
everyone was happy. So
it's a good thing you won, because you did maybe quietly beg a little bit to win last time you were on the podcast. So that would have been embarrassing if you lost. Oh my
gosh, I did beg.
You whispered in the mic and said, "Please, Stitchdown, give me a trip to Japan."
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was in their head.
No,
they didn't listen.
No, don't say that. No, you won fair and square. It doesn't matter who was wearing the boots.
Yeah.
They look great.
Thank you. Jeez. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
No, you better.
I didn't. I've been thinking about that. Like, oh, if he doesn't win at least like 50th place.
This Cobbler is great, by the way.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah. So good. Don't know that I have many more questions for you. Is there anything that you wanted to share?
I don't think I have anything. I wish I did. I'm just I don't really know. I don't know. I'm sure you feel the same way. This place is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great place to work.
Love working here. Yeah.
Your story, like, it's amazing how many employees here have a very similar story. Weren't just scrolling, job ads. It was, I've heard of Nix. I know Nix. I really want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And that passion really shows in our products. And I think that's really like, I saw a post once on our Reddit forum talking about, like, does Nix have an X factor? I feel like Nix has an X factor. And to me, like, that's the X factor. Is there's, as far as I know, no one here who is just going day to day and like just getting through the 8 hours. Most of the people here are passionate about what they're doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to be honest, I don't know if I can say this, so you might have to cut it out. But I've told this to other people. I didn't have to work here. Mm-hmm. I went to all the other boot companies and visited and talked with them and ended up here because Grant and Nathan and just Serge, like, everyone was just so nice and kind, and they looked like they're having fun. So I was nervous. I went to those places first before coming here because I was afraid to come here.
You want to know something funny?
What's that?
Me too.
You were?
I
didn't want to be rejected.
I sent in a job application to White's before I toured the facility here, and was secretly like going to Spokane. I have friends who live here. I was offered a job interview at Nix. I will take that opportunity to also check out the other boot companies because I know I want to stay in boots. But after I toured the area and talked to the people, I was like, no, there's no need. I'm going to Nix. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's I don't know how to explain it, but it was just a good environment.
Yeah, so absolutely.
And now look at this.
Yeah, we're eating Cobbler.
Cobbler together.
Amazing blackberry cobbler made
Same
by
name.
Kelsey. Lucas and Lucas.
Same height.
Cobbler and cobbler with Lucas and Lucas. Did you say same height? Oh yeah, we're both 6'5". Anyway,
I wish.
Thank you so much for joining me. I know it's a little bit past when you normally are here.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah,
with my not very much cobbler.
You're gonna have to eat all of that.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. It's fun.
Of course. Pleasure.